Hi guys, and welcome to another Divi video. This is Jamie from System22 and webdesignandtechtips.com. Well, we're using the great Divi Supreme modules here, and we're using the Pro version of it today. And we've got this 3D cover flow slider here, and when you hover over it, it's going to stop. Click on an image, it'll pop up a video, and also when you click up the button, it'll pop up a video. That's a nice little effect to have on your site, and it's really easy to do. We had a comment on one of our Supreme videos before that they'd stopped doing this 3D version. Well, I've got the most updated version of Divi Supreme Pro, and it is definitely here. So I'll show you how to build this really easy. Let's get started. First thing I'm going to do is enable the Visual Builder. Once enabled, let's go down to where we want to work. I'm just going to get rid of this row. I've got a section which has got that background gradient in it and a full width row here, but I'm going to delete the row and we'll start from scratch. So we'll add a new row. I'm going to use a single column for this today. And of course, Divi comes with all the light grey modules here. And here are all the ones you get with a fantastic Divi Supreme Pro. And the one I want today is the card carousel right there. Now let's add an item. As you can see, it puts in 3 by default, which is fine. Put in whatever you want for your title. And put a subtitle in here if you need a subtitle. Of course, it's put some content in there for us. I haven't got any real content, so I'll leave that just as it is. Image and badge. Well, here's the image placeholder and there's the badge, obviously. So let's select this. We'll put an image in there. You can use the image in the background if you want to, which I'm doing at the moment, which is fine. You can take it off and just resize it and use it how you want otherwise. And you can also open it in a light box. You can change the image height here to whatever works for you. And if you play with this and don't like what you've done, simply select it, delete it, it'll go back to the default for you. Now the background image size, I've got mine on cover, so it's showing the whole image and it's covering the whole of the background there, and it's centered. Don't want it to repeat, and I don't want it to have an animation. They've got various little animations you can have here, zoom in, zoom out, some nice little effects there. I'm going to leave that to off. Not going to have it open in a lightbox, but I am going to have it open as a video lightbox, so when they click on the image it'll pop up with a video. And I'll put my video URL in here. Now here you can have badge text if you want to use a badge. I will say watch video. The link, if you want to link the badge to something, is right here. I'm going to leave that blank because I've got the actual video playing when they click on the picture, but if you want to put any link in there, you're welcome to. And as a general rule, if you're linking to your own site, open it in the same window. If you're linking to somebody else's site or off your own site, open it in a new tab. That way your site stays open. And this is where you put the link for the module below. I don't want the actual module to link anywhere either. I'm just going to use it as a simple video pop-up. Okay, here's the button just down below. And again, I'm going to say watch video because I want that to pop up a video. You don't have to have the same video and you don't have to have a video. You can link it to anywhere you want, but I'm just doing it so it links to the same as the image above here. And if we look down below, open as video lightbox. So I'll put the YouTube URL in the button URL right here. There we go. Now for a background, I'm going to keep this fairly simple today. Just put a black background in there. Let's move on to our design here. Remember, we're just working on a single card. I know there's 3 there, but it puts 3 in by default. Image, don't want to change anything on that. You can put overlays and rounded corners. I guess we could put an overlay on with a play icon for the video. So let's put a purple one on. I want to see through it though, so I'm going to bring the opacity down so it's there but we can see the image through it. Great. And for the actual icon itself, I'm going to use a play icon as it's going to pop up a video, and I'm going to make that white. There we go, perfect. Okay, moving on down. Show overlay on hover, that's fine. If you turn it off, it'll show it all the time. Don't want rounded corners on my image. I don't want a border on my image either, so I'm going to roll on down some more. Don't want any box shadow, won't show on that dark background of mine. Badge, going to make the background color purple on that. You can give it a custom position here, and you can do general positioning with this. I'm happy for it to be top right there, but I have noticed when you're in the editor it won't show you that background color while we've got the visual builder on, but it does show on the front end. So I'm going to have mine purple. Padding wise, that's fine. Font, I'm going to leave exactly where it is. As you know, if you've watched any other Divi videos of mine, Divi's got a crazy amount of fonts. There literally are hundreds of them, and if you hover over one, it'll give you an example of what that font's going to look like. I'm going to leave mine on the default there, and everything else there text wise is good. You've got colors and styling options as you do with all Divi modules. I do want to take those rounded corners off here, and so I'm going to select that and just put a 0 in there. That'll square it up nicely. And I do want that text actually, because the purple is going to be background, the background's going to be purple, so I want the text to be white. You'll lose it while we're in the back end there, but I know it's there. Let's keep rolling on down. Here we've got our title text. I'm going to make that bold. I'm going to make it the same color as our buttons and the purple that we've been using there. And let's make it uppercase. And let's go down a little bit more. Here we've got the body text. I'm simply going to make that white. And the subheading I'll make semi-bold and the same purple color as the other things we've had going there. Okay, if we move on down now to the button, you can align your button left where it is at the moment, middle or right. I'm happy to have mine on the left, everything else is left aligned, that's fine. I'm going to use custom styles. Text, I'm going to leave it as it is. Button background, I'll use the same color we've been using, which is the purple there. For the hover state, like most Divi modules, if you roll over the dark button background legending there, little arrow, give you two tabs, one for when you're not hovering over it and one for when you are. So when we're hovering over it, let's make it blue perhaps. Now pop it back to the desktop state, should be purple, there we go. And I'm not going to have a border. So I'm going to just pop my border width up to 1 and then take it back down to 0. It'll disappear. Fantastic. So I'm pretty happy with this. Remember, this is our first card. I guess we could have a play icon. I wouldn't mind having that show all the time. So here's show button icon. I want to pop that one to on. I'll grab my little play icon or whatever icon you want there. But I want it to show all the time, not just on hover. And up here you can choose to put it on right or left, wherever you want to put it. On the right is fine by me. White is fine by me too. But I want to show it all the time, so I'm going to turn this to on, only show icon on hover for button. Turn it on and then flip it back to off again, and you'll see the icon pop up there, and it'll be there all the time now. Again, the styling on the front end, it'll work perfectly there. Okay, so that's our first card done there. Anything else I want to do? Just going to put a little purple border around it. Don't want any rounded corners. I'm going to do all 4 at once. I'm going to make it that same color again. I'm just going to make it 1 pixel. 2 pixels perhaps, so we can see it better there. Okay, that's great. So once you're happy with your first card, just save it. And to save going through and styling all of your cards, I'm going to have mine the same. I'm simply going to duplicate this by clicking on the 2 little squares there, and I'll make some 6 or 7 of them. And then you can just go in and change the background or the actual, I'll just go in and change the images. I'll pause this while I'm doing that. Okay, well I've just changed the images out on there to make it look a little more interesting. So we've got 6 or 7 little carousel items there. Let's actually go into our carousel settings and set this up. But before I do that, I'm actually going to make this row full width because I want mine full width. So I'm going to check that little box. We'll save this. We'll go into our row, green tab, hit the little cog there. We'll go over to design, sizing. I'm going to slide the width all the way up to 100%. I'm going to copy that, Control C, and paste it down below, Control V, or you can type it in if you prefer. We've now got a full width carousel. And again, it's only showing 3, so let's go into the settings and configure it how we want to configure it. Back into the module, the dark tab, little cog, and we'll go down to our carousel settings just underneath here. Okay, and this is where we turn it into the 3D option. It's called cover flow. And as you can see, it's sort of angled a few of those. We can add a shadow, which puts a shadow on the ones on the outside, just makes them a little more 3D-ish. And the amount of rotation you can change here and flip round as much as you want. Looks better when you've got more slides on there. So I'm going to go down a bit. I'm going to say show 5 slides. I don't need to use centered mode because the odd number will always put one in the center, and like I say, you can change your rotate value here and it's much more effective when you've got a lot there. I'm going to pop that back to where it was. Cover flow depth, if you pull this one up, just get it how you want your actual slider to look. It's something like that. Like I say, we don't need center mode. Slides to show we set. Slides to scroll. It's going to scroll 1 at a time, which I'm happy with. If you want 3 going on each, that's up to you. You can use multiple rows if you want to. I don't want to do that. Slider speed 300. That's the actual time it takes one get from here to here, which is fine. Autoplay, yes. Change interval, it's going to change every 3000 milliseconds or 3 seconds, which is fine. I do want it to pause on hover because if people are hovering over it, it gives them a chance to read the text and get up and click on the whatever they want to click on. Spacing wise, I'm going to get them a bit sort of that so they're overlapping. Something like that. There we go. Infinite looping, yes, I want it to go round and round and round. I don't want it to just stop when it gets to the end. Auto height, I really don't need this, but I'll leave it on anyway. You won't see much of a difference. So if you've got different amount of content in there, I've got exactly the same content in each one, so they're all going to be the same height. And you can equalize those if you do have different types of content in there. Don't want to show arrows, but I will show the pagination, which is this little dots at the bottom here. Disable touch dragging, I'll leave that to off. That's for people on tablets and things that they won't accidentally spin it with their finger. And use a grab cursor. As you can see, it's got that little hand grab cursor. Okay, well, let's just pop over to design and we're about done. Layout and alignment, you can have it stacked on top of each other like this. If you want your image on the left, you can put it on inline, but for me I prefer the stacked version. Image, I don't want to put any rounded corners or anything like that, or borders. The badge is fine. We haven't got any arrows. If I roll down, get out of the badge section here, haven't got any arrows. Pagination, just going to change that to white so it'll stand out a little bit better on the background there. Text body, text subhead, we're good to go. We've done all that in our first card. So we should be good to go here. Let's save our changes and exit the Visual Builder. And there we have it. There's our little 3D cover flow slider. When we hover over it, it'll stop. We've got our little overlay over the image there. As you can see, our badge has colored in nicely as it should have done, and our button has got the icon. When I click on the image or the button, it should pop up a video. Fantastic. Make sure it's going to do it for this one too. Fantastic. Great. And whoever it was asked the question, they've taken away the 3D option. No, they haven't. It's right here and it's called cover flow. So there you go, guys. There's a 3D card carousel with video pop-up. I hope you've enjoyed this today and found it useful. If you have, please give it a thumbs up, ring the bell, comment, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Once again, this has been Jamie with System22 and webdesignandtechtips.com. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.